Okay.
Beautiful.
Like wonderful. So good. And if there's any, and as I'm going through this, my PowerPoint, please, like, as I've been doing a number of these, if you have any questions or concerns, you can put in the chat and or at the conclusion of my presentation, feel free um, uh, um, to ask those questions. I'll be more than welcome to address them. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. Thanks for having me aboard today and this morning to speak about financial aid. I'm truly delighted to work at Monroe Community College in the financial aid office as an advisor, and I'm also the coordinator of the Men of Excellence at Monroe Community College. So I'm delighted to be here today to speak to everyone this morning about financial aid. Let's get started. So the agenda, the things I'm going to cover, just a little bit about the college admissions process. I'm just going to touch upon that a little bit. I've been asked to incorporate that in my presentation. But what is financial aid? How much does college cost? We're going to touch upon that. How and when to apply for financial aid, who completes the forms, and what kinds of aid might I receive to go to school. So the college admissions process, in the fall, you're expected to submit your college applications. But at the same time, when you're submitting your college applications, now since we have prior year for financial aid, you can also have your financial aid forms completed for during the process. Every year now, starting on October 1st of each year, you can complete your FAFSA form. And this is why folks are asking me, what's the relationship here between admissions and financial aid? Well, this is the reason why you can get them both complete at the same time. Prior year, I'm gonna get into a little bit more prior year for you in just a minute. They're gonna be looking at your academic resume. They're going to be looking at what you've achieved while you've been in school or your experiences while you've been in school. They're going to ask you to complete a college essay that can be expected depending on the institution. And the SAT, ACT scores, if this is applicable to you, are test optional now. A lot of schools are converting to test optional. So what they're doing now, they're looking at the strength of your academic program from your background, the strength of high school, the strength of what you've achieved while you've been in school. And they're looking at that to consider you for scholarship money and those wonderful opportunities. And that's why individuals have been asking me, what's the relationship? Well, that's the relationship. It's related to financial aid. And then in some cases, when you're applying for some of the scholarships and opportunities through the admissions process at the individual schools, they will ask you to submit along with your credentials two references. Okay, so what is financial aid? Financial aid consists of scholarships, free money, grants that you get from the state and federal government that you do not have to pay back, free money. Loans, quite naturally. If you take out a loan, you are expected to pay that back, and we're going to touch upon that. And then there's employment opportunities. We have federal college work study on the college campuses where you can work and earn money while you're in school. And then there's outside employers. Here, for example, in Monroe County, one big employer that we have is the Wegmans Corporation. The Wegmans Corporation, they're very supportive of higher education. They provide scholarship opportunities. So that's just one example. You have the University of Rochester. They do the same thing. They're a major employer, one of the biggest employers in Monroe County, just to give you an example. So let's get started with this whole process. How we're going to get in and really dig in here and find out what I'm going to qualify for financial aid. Well, for the beginning process, my dear friends, and I want you to write this down, you have to establish your name with the federal government. And the federal government wants you to complete a form electronically through studentaid.gov to establish a username and password, which is your FAFSA ID to get in to create your FAFSA application. Very, very important to you, okay? You have to go in at this site. You're going to ask them biographical questions about yourself. You're going to create an ID. You're going to use that to go into the FAFSA form. Now, for those of you that are under the age of 24, because that's a common question. Well, I'm independent. I don't live out. Nope, you're under the age of 24. Unless you have some extenuating circumstances, you and your parent in your household have to have a FAFSA ID. So you need one for yourself and one for one parent in the household to complete the FAFSA application. This serves as your electronic signature. You're signing off on the application. You're indicating that what the information you're providing is absolutely factual and true to the federal government when you complete the application. Now, when you go in, if you're using your parents' income, you can also have the opportunity to use the IRS data retrieval tool. The IRS data retrieval tool is a great tool. You'll go in, the parent gets to go in their section on the FAFSA form. They have their information converted over to the FAFSA application. Some parents will call, they say, well, I really don't know what numbers, what figures, what to use. Well, the government has an IRS data retrieval tool available for you to do that. Students, you can also use the data retrieval tool if you have worked. So let's go into that a little bit more. Here is where you will go in, and this is what it looks like to create your FAFSA ID. And here you go, studentaid.gov. Here's the actual FAFSA form. You'll click on Start Here, and that will begin the process. You will go in, and if you are the student applying for financial aid, you have to use your FAFSA ID and username to create the application. Parents, or if you have a parent, they do not create the application for you with their FAFSA ID and username. Always remember that. I have a number of parents that will call the financial aid office and they'll say, well, I did the application, but we don't see anything yet. And then I'll ask them, I say, well, did you use your son and daughter's FAFSA ID and username, or did you use yours? And they go, oh my God, I used my own. They create an application for themselves. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're creating a FAFSA username for yourself, for you to create the FAFSA application. That begins the process.
Plan to go to college?
I'm sorry, what's the question again? Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does the government evaluate you for financial aid? Well, they look at the cost of attendance of the school, minus the expected family contribution, which is generated from the FAFSA form, determine your documented need. So they look at the cost of attendance, tuition fees, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, and other miscellaneous expenses, minus the EFC, which is generated by the federal government once you complete the FAFSA form. That they look at the parent's income, they look at the student's income and assets, the family size, the age of the parents, and the number of children in college, that'll be going to college, and then they generate the EFC. So the EFC minus the cost of attendance determines your documented need. That's the methodology that they use. Now, in addition to the FAFSA form, depending on the institution, some private schools still use the CSS profile. This is the original financial aid form. So in addition to doing the FAFSA form, you may be expected to do the CSS profile. So you said, what schools still use the CSS profile? There are a number of schools throughout the country that still use it. For example, Cornell, Rensselaer Polytech Institute. What they're doing is that they're looking at the strength of your household ability, your parents' ability to pay for you to go to school. They're looking at a combination of variables. And once they look at that, then they will commit their institutional dollars to help support you through school. So the FAFSA form and the CSS profile for some selected schools. I just want to bring that out and bring that to your attention, because a number of students say, why I have to do two forms? Well, some schools still use the CSS profile. The FAFSA form is free once again. And if you are coached, or if you get an anonymous call, or someone's trying to say, hey, we'll help you up with the FAFSA form, but you have to pay a fee. No, it's absolutely free. I always tell students, please. Pardon me?
Hi, so we have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, so I'm at Oasis Nursing. My name is Jaleesa, and I have a question from the class. So what if you're under 24, and say if you don't have a good connection with a parent, but you're in this program and you want to go to MCC, what do you do as far as trying to obtain financial aid?
Very good question. Now, on the FAFSA application, you will see there's a section on there. Well, it's going to ask you if you can provide your parents' income, and you're going to check no. What happens in turn is that your FAFSA application is sent to Monroe Community College, and then in return, we're going to send you a supplemental form to ask you additional questions to see if you meet the definition of being an independent student based on your extenuating circumstances. Number two, if you think you fall into that category, what I encourage you to do is to give Monroe Community College a call, and we can speak to you more in detail what this may involve. Because there's some personal things that we have to get involved with you, some confidential information that that we will need to ask of you. So I would strongly encourage you, if you feel you fall in that category, to give us a courtesy call. The number from Monroe Community College is 292-2050. Give us a call. We would love to assist you and help you. Once again, my name is Mr. Griffin. I would love to help you. You may fall in the category for what they call the dependency override. And I don't want to confuse you about that. That's why I don't get really involved in that, because there's a lot more involvement as you as a person going through that process. But if you think and you have some extenuating circumstances where you don't have a relationship with your parents and you live on your own, or and you fall in that category, you're self-supporting, you fall in that category, what I want you to do is to reach out to our office, and we'll love to help you out, okay? Very good question.
One more question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
In our class here, we have a couple who have not been here for, let's say, they've been in this country for about 5 years. They're in this program. And let's say they do not file taxes. What should they do for FAFSA?
The same thing. They're going to report their income, even though they might have untaxable income. And they will put that on the application. If they're not for sure, and boy, you're asking some dynamite questions here. If you're not for sure, you can give us a call once again, or you can, and I was going to tell you this at the conclusion of my presentation, you can reach out to us and you can come to our virtual lab and we can walk you through that process. You can sign up to get assistance through our virtual lab, and they'll show you how to document that information on the FAFSA form prior to you submitting it. Okay, very good question. I'm glad you asked that question. Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna let you take the presentation now.
Yep. Okay. So this is CSS profile. So here is the breakdown of. I'm just showing you what colleges may cost. This is based on the 2019-2020 figures. Okay. Private schools, you see the tuition and fees. You see SUNY schools, the tuition is roughly around $6,800, and for a community college, the average is about $4,600. They put these. This is as of the academic year, okay? And then you see the fees, room and board, books and supplies, and you can see the average cost for a private school right now is about $49,000 for the year. For a SUNY 4-year school, $25,000, and for a if you're living on campus at a community college, it's roughly around $19,000. Now, can you get aid to help offset that cost? Yeah. Can you get scholarships to offset that cost? Absolutely. But you have to apply. Once again, October 1st is a key time for you to make application. It's prior year now, prior year. So your 2019 income, whether it's taxable or non-taxable income, will represent you in terms of completing the FAFSA application. So 2019 represents 2021. 2020's income which we are in now, reps 2022, okay? Prior year. A lot of students are still getting that confused. Families are still getting that confused, but it's not the prior year, it's prior year. They changed it now, okay? So I wanted to put that out to you, make sure you understand that. So what are the sources of financial aid that I might receive? Well, you can receive a federal Pell Grant. Right now it's at $63.45 for the academic year. Federal SEOG, the Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, $100 to $4,000 you can get. Federal work studies based on need by you completing the FAFSA form. You can get federal work study to work on campus. And then there's the Perkins loans. Now, the Perkins loans may be discontinued. Okay, we have not received the official word on it yet, but that is a block grant of money that is given to you as a loan from the individual colleges. Some colleges give this out to you and they put that in part of your financial aid package. Is at a fixed rate at 5%, okay? But I'm putting that out to you just in case you might go to Alfred University or one of the other colleges. They like, well, I heard there's a Perkins loan. Yeah, well, there is a Perkins loan money that's made available. It may be incorporated into your financial aid package. Then there's New York State TAP. Now, in order for you to get to New York State TAP, the tuition assistance program, you have to have the FAFSA form on file. I had a student call me up yesterday. She said, oh, I can't get my TAP application completed. It was so cute. She said, Mr. Griffin, what am I going to do? I said, well, did you do the FAFSA form yet? She said, no, I want to do the TAP application first. And I said, no, you can't do that first. You got to do the FAFSA form first. So the FAFSA form you have to do first. Now, that is based on the net taxable income, okay? The net taxable income off the taxes. If you do not have any taxable income, if you get some other form of income in your household, then you will provide proof of the non-taxable income to put on the TAP application. You will see that. You will get questions about that. You will see that information. So I'm just putting that out there. So it's the FAFSA form. That information is generated over to your TAP application. You will complete a TAP application just like you completed the FAFSA form. So I'm going to back up on the TAP. You're going to go in, you will go to the TAP website at the HESC website, and you will create a username and password for the TAP to complete your TAP application, just like the FAFSA form. And you will put your figures on the TAP application. And as you can see, you can qualify for $5165, a maximum award, a minimum award of $500. Is once again based on the net taxable income. You see, I have the figure there of $80,000 net right now. So the closer you are to that figure, the less TAP money you will receive. Okay, the lower you are on that figure, the more TAP money you will receive. TAP is college specific, and I want to define that for you because students run into problems with this every year. If you apply for Buffalo State College as your number one choice, the number one school on your FAFSA form, but you change your mind and you say, well, I want to go to Monroe Community College. Your money is earmarked to go to Buffalo State College. You listed as your number one school. So you have to go back through and you have to do what they call a TAP correction. You'll go through and do a correction on the TAP application, and you will list Monroe Community College as your primary school to have your money sent to Monroe Community College, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there to you. Make sure you understand that. So the FAFSA form, you get that completed and you say, well, what can I qualify for in addition to the free grant money? Well, there's the loan money. And the loan money, it comes to your subsidized and unsub loan money. You can get you can get a total of $5,500 in a combination between your sub and unsub money in your freshman year. So in the sub money is where the government pays the interest on the loan while you're in school. The unsub money is where the the interest accumulates on the loan while you're in school. So in your freshman year, you can qualify for $3,500 in subsidized loan money and an additional $2,000 in unsum money, which will give you a total loan package in your freshman year of $5,500. It goes up $1,000 in your sophomore year. So you can get you can get $4,500, excuse me, in subsidized loan money, an additional $2,000 in unsum money, which will give you a total loan package of $6,500 in your sophomore year. And then it continues on. In your junior and senior year, you get $5,500 in your subsidized loan money, an additional $2,000 in unsub loan money, which gives you a total loan package of $7,500. Okay, but I'm not a biggie on loans. If you feel that you need to take out a loan to help you through school, you're more than welcome to take advantage of this opportunity. But grant money, scholarship money will help you along the way. I'm not going to touch upon this Parent Plus loan, but Parent Plus loans are very straightforward. They're offered by the federal government. There's a credit check that's involved. The interest accrues 6 months right after you take out the loan as a parent. And payments, payment process, it starts right away. So the limits are up to the cost of attendance, which I showed you earlier on the in the presentation. Okay, so, but I'm not going to really develop on the Parent Plus loans too much.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
I apologize if you plan on speaking
No
about
problem.
it, but I remember when I was in school, and I don't know if this is true, but someone told me that financial aid is only for 4 years. So if I take longer in school, I won't be getting the financial aid. Is that true, or?
But
I guess,
I mean,
what's the truth with that?
no. You get 4 years of financial aid to go to school. That is correct. No, 4 years. After that, if you continue on to graduate school, then there are other different forms of other aid that you can get from the college itself to support you through graduate school. But you're absolutely right. You were told the correct information.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So now there's another program I like to tell students about. It's called the Educational Opportunity Program. In the private sector, it's called HEOP. In the state sector, in the SUNY family, it's called EOP. New York City and going down towards New York City is called SEEK and College Discovery. They're all in the same family. They provide a couple things. One, academic support services, and they also provide additional financial aid while you're going to school. Now, this is a New York State program, and you must be attending school in New York State, okay, to qualify for the program. Now, if you want to find out more information about it, you can go to the SUNY website, and I put the link there at the bottom of this slide here. You can write that down and look at it, or you can go to Monroe Community College, and you can go into the search function and type in EOP, and you can learn about EOP through our website or any one of the websites locally, Buffalo State, Brockport, University of Rochester, RIT. You can learn about the program, but you must be academically and financially disadvantaged to qualify for this program. And the criteria, you can find out about the criteria by looking on the website, and in addition, calling the admissions office to find out more information to qualify for the program. So I always like to tell students about it, because a lot of students say, well, Mr. Griffin, boy, wow, I qualified for the program. I didn't even realize I did. Well, once again, it's a wonderful opportunity for you to get in to get the additional financial and academic support. So I wanted to put that out to you today, okay? Now, scholarships. A lot of students say, well, I want scholarships. How do I get scholarships? I always tell students to go into Google, do a Google search for scholarship opportunities to go to school. You can go to the College Board. You can go to FinAid. There are a number of search engines you can research to find out about scholarship opportunities. The opportunity is unlimited. You can go to Monroe Community College's website right now, and you can type in for scholarships there, and you can see the variation of scholarships that are available, from you being in specific programs, whether it's math, science related, or if you're going into nursing. There are a lot of scholarships available for you to help support you through school. So I would encourage you to really, if you're interested in trying to find some free money, to really do a search. And I always say that one of the simple ways right now is just go type in scholarships under Google. You'll see all the searches pop up. And then from there, you can begin the process to start looking at scholarship opportunities. Now, there's one scholarship that's hot on the market still. A lot of students, a lot of families want to know about the Excelsior Scholarship Program. That is the state program that started in 2017. The governor's office announced it, the Excelsior Scholarship Program. Now, this particular scholarship, and I want to make this very clear, is tuition driven. Okay. This scholarship requires you to have the FAFSA form completed, the New York State TAP application completed in order for you to qualify. It's in the SUNY system and in the CUNY system. And it pays for your tuition for school. It helps offset the cost for school. So some students say, well, what does that really mean? This is a very common question. Let me give you an example. If your tuition bill, for example, is $2,000 to go to school, you get $500 in federal Pell, and you get $500 in TAP towards your tuition. The Excelsior Scholarship Program will kick in the balance, the gap of the $1,000 to pay your tuition bill. I'm giving that as an example because some students still feel and families are getting mixed messages about the Excelsior Scholarship. They think it pays for the books and supplies and the other fees and all the, no, it does not. It's strictly based on tuition. And I want to put emphasis on that. Now, the stipulation for the Excelsior program, you must be a full-time student. You cannot be in any remedial courses. They have to be college level courses. You must be on track for graduation. So you must be taking a minimum of 12 credit hours per semester. 15 is the benchmark. You want to hit 15 because you need 30 credit hours per semester to be on track to get your associate's degree in 2 years. And then you can move on to work towards your baccalaureate degree, your 4-year degree. If you fall behind and you only do 12 credit hours one semester, they allow you the winter session, for example, and they allow you the summer session to make up the gap of the missing credits so you can be on track to have your associate's degree within a 2-year period. But you must be in sequence. You must be on track for graduation. If not, you'll be dropped from the Excelsior Scholarship Program and you will not be invited back. Now, the Excelsior program has a separate scholarship application. And when you complete it, it's going to ask you, have you completed the FAFSA form? Have you completed the TAP application? And then you complete the Excelsior Scholarship application. I put the link on the PowerPoint for you to look at, so you can look at the Excelsior Scholarship and read more about it and get a better understanding of it. But it's a wonderful opportunity. It's free money. A lot of students are taking advantage of the Excelsior Scholarship Program. So once again, you need to complete the FAFSA form, the TAP application, and the Excelsior Scholarship application to be considered for the Excelsior Scholarship. Now, I'm opening up the floor right now because I could talk on and on and on about this wonderful world of financial aid. I want to make sure I can address any questions or concerns you may have.
And feel free to speak up or type in the chat, because I know some people don't have access to their microphone.
Okay, so now if you're interested in coming to Monroe Community College this fall, and you have not completed your FAFSA application, I would encourage you to begin that process now, because you want to definitely make sure your money and funds are in place to help offset your tuition fees. And also, some students say, "Well, can I get any assistance to buy my books?" Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If your financially comes in, and if there's enough aid available, you can use your aid to purchase your books. Like, that's a very common question. Some students say, "Well, I need not only need books and supplies, but I might need a laptop computer." Well, if your financial aid gives you the room to purchase one, yes, we will allow you to purchase a laptop computer for yourself. That's a common question I get also. So what I encourage you to do, if you are in this particular program, you know you're getting ready to move on, you want to go to school, I would encourage you to begin the process of completing the college application. I would also encourage you to begin the process of completing the FAFSA form. Once again, you can give us a call or go to our website and sign up to use our virtual lab right now. I'm hoping real soon in the near future, now things are breaking now, that we'll be back in person. You can come right on campus and come right to our lab, and we have representatives in our lab that will help you complete the FAFSA application. But in the interim right now, you take advantage of our virtual lab, and there is a representative there that can walk you through a Zoom meeting, which a lot of students are taking advantage of, and we would love to help you complete out your FAFSA form. Any other questions, concerns?
I was curious to know if calling or emailing is like, which one is the fastest and best way? Because we do have volunteers here that will assist. So I wanted to know what way you suggest.
Either way, we're real quick
Okay.
with both of them. Absolutely.
Perfect.
We're responding because of what's going on with COVID. We're responding within a 24-hour period. We're getting right back to students.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions or concerns? Well, I want to thank you today. I really do. I want to thank you. And I hope that the information I went over today will point you in the right direction for you to begin the process of completing your FAFSA form. It can be intimidating at times, but there are resources around to give you assistance. And we would love to help you at Monroe Community College, help you complete the FAFSA application. So, yes.
Sorry, we were washing our hands. Question is, what if you are okay, so we're in the nursing program, but we have a couple people who's already in MCC and will be a returning student, and we have not been there, let's say, in about a year or so. So what would you tell a returning student, like what's different as far as financial aid? What do we need to expect coming back? And then we're switching up fields from business to nursing.
Okay, well, first of all, what I do is if you're coming back to Monroe Community College, I would start with the admissions office, do a re-admit application, okay? And then number two, I want you to immediately get your FAFSA form completed so you can find out what money you're working with. Number three, I want you to make an appointment after you get re-admitted. They're going to encourage you to meet with your academic advisor so you can discuss what your academic plans are, whether you're going to continue on with nursing and or if you're going to switch your major so you will understand what courses you will need to satisfy your degree requirements. That's the angle that I would encourage you to take.
Okay. All righty. Anybody else got a question? No? All right. That was all the questions.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I want to wish you guys the best. I hope to see you on campus. And my name is Mr. Griffin. I'd love to help you. And thank you for having me come. And I hope I'll be able to come on your campus and do a live presentation. So I'm really excited about what's things turning right now. Things are starting to loosen up. So feel free to give me a call. I'm accessible. Love to help you out. You guys stay safe. Stay safe and have a wonderful week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for presenting, and expect a bunch of phone calls and emails from our students.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Yeah.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.